Every now and then, the internet experiences a moment so electrifying, so unexpected, that the entire digital world holds its breath. Threads stall, timelines freeze, comment sections erupt into chaos. And this time, at the center of the storm stands one of reality TV's most resilient couples, Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker. For years, they've danced through public scrutiny with a level of honesty that has kept fans rooting for them. Their relationship, complex, imperfect, but unmistakably strong, has been a cornerstone of their brand. They've survived blow-ups on national television, family conflict, business stress, and relentless public speculation. And yet, despite everything they've conquered, nothing prepared fans for what would happen next. It began with an image, brief, subtle, almost unremarkable, yet powerful enough to send shockwaves through the internet. When Kandi stepped onto the Bravo stage, cameras flashing from every direction, the universe seemed to pause. Because on that day, in that moment, on that glittering hand that had once proudly displayed her commitment, something was missing. Her wedding ring. No diamond, no band, no symbol of union. Just silence. In the world of celebrity culture, names hold meaning. A name can symbolize identity, growth, partnership, evolution. So when the Bravo host introduced her not as Kandi Burruss Tucker, but simply as Kandi Burruss, the shift was unmistakable. It wasn't just a shortening, it felt like a recalibration, a stripping back of layers, a public reset delivered in the most casual tone possible. Fans who had followed the couple's journey immediately sensed the weight behind that omission. Kandi Burruss has always worn her marriage like a badge, proudly, visibly, unapologetically. And because she has always been transparent with her personal life, even the smallest deviations become magnified. The moment that single name echoed across the venue, social media lit up in a frenzy. People weren't just asking if something was wrong, they were already certain the marriage was shifting, and desperate to piece together the clues. What made the moment even more jarring was the contrast between the magnitude of the change and the calmness with which it was delivered. No announcement, no explanation, just a single name standing alone where a hyphen once united two worlds. In minutes, fans transformed into investigators. Timelines became evidence boards. Screenshots multiplied. Every still image of Kandi was torn apart frame by frame, fans scrubbing through videos to confirm what they thought they saw. Threads emerged documenting her ring finger across weeks, even months. Was it missing before? Was this the first time? Was there a pattern they had overlooked? People compared old Instagram posts, analyzed captions for hidden meaning, and studied her outfits to determine whether the ring's absence had been intentional or accidental. Comment sections spiraled into organized chaos, one half convinced that the marriage was quietly dissolving, the other insisting that Kandi, ever the businesswoman, knew exactly what she was doing and was orchestrating public attention. The theories ranged from measured to outrageous, but the one thing everyone agreed on was this: the silence was suspicious, because Kandi Burruss does not do silence. Not about her business, not about her music, not about her personal life, not about her marriage. And the absence of reassurance felt louder than any statement she could have made. The turning point came not on television, but on Instagram, the modern battlefield where relationships begin, break, and reveal their cracks. Overnight, with no warning and no mention, Kandi removed Tucker from her bio. Just like that. No dramatic caption, no defensive post, no vague affirmation about growth or healing, just a quiet reversal of something she had once proudly displayed. Her new profile stood simple and stark: Kandi Burruss. And the internet, already suspicious, lost its collective mind. Screenshots flew across every platform. Fan pages compared the before and after like forensic specialists. Twitter erupted with threads and timelines documenting the moment down to the minute. For many, this was no longer speculation. This was confirmation. Her ring was gone. Her hyphen was gone. Her married identity, gone. In a digital world where every emoji carries meaning, removing a last name felt like a siren. A move this intentional, this symbolic, is rarely accidental. And the internet knew it. But then, the plot took a turn no one expected. While Kandi was sending subtle signals that something had shifted, Todd Tucker's online presence told an entirely different story. No missing ring, No edited bio, no change in tone. In fact, Todd seemed almost aggressively normal. In post after post, his wedding band appeared front and center, gleaming, deliberate, unmistakable. Whether intentional or not, his ring began to feel like a statement of its own. Fans took notice immediately. Why would Kandi remove every outward symbol of marriage while Todd held onto his like a lifeline? Why would she make changes without explanation, while he proceeded as though nothing had shifted at all? The contradiction fed the frenzy. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't just, what is happening to their marriage? It became, why are they acting like they're in two different marriages? For every silent signal Kandi sent, Todd countered with an image of steadiness. The contrast was so stark, so visually undeniable, that it added a new layer of confusion and heartbreak to the unfolding saga. To understand the intensity of this moment, we have to rewind to the year before, when Kandi and Todd stepped into an event with bare hands, both rings missing. What followed was a digital firestorm. Divorce rumors flooded the web. Headlines questioned their future. TikTok analysts broke down every angle of the event, searching for micro-expressions and hidden clues. The noise became so overwhelming that Kandi addressed it directly, dismissing the hysteria with a laugh. She insisted they were fine, explaining that real life, not drama, was the reason behind the missing rings. They were busy. They forgot. Nothing more. Fans sighed in relief, the internet quieted, and the couple moved on. But this time is different. This time, there is no playful explanation, no shrug, no laugh. And fans can feel it. Because when you live publicly for decades, your audience learns the rhythm of your personality. They can tell when a moment is trivial and when it's the beginning of something deeper. But no examination of Kandi and Todd's relationship can be complete without acknowledging one of the most complicated forces surrounding their marriage: Mama Joyce. For as long as Todd has been in Kandi's life, Mama Joyce has remained a constant, persistent source of tension. Her skepticism, her comments, her suspicions, they've been documented for years, often in painful detail. She has questioned Todd's intentions, his ambitions, even his character. And although Kandi has defended him many times, it's clear that the weight of balancing her mother's opinions with her husband's feelings has grown heavier over time. Recently, Kandi admitted that things between Mama Joyce and Todd were not good, not improving, not healing, just not good. Hearing her say that out loud was jarring because Kandi usually downplays conflict. But this time, her honesty carried the tone of someone exhausted from standing in the middle of a crossfire. Anyone who has ever tried to please two people they love, especially when those two people do not get along, knows the emotional toll it takes. Every decision becomes a negotiation. Every holiday becomes a battleground. Every boundary becomes a test of loyalty. And eventually, even the strongest heart begins to crack. Right now, what the world is witnessing does not resemble a dramatic breakup or a public explosion. Instead, it looks like two people quietly drifting into different emotional spaces, one reaching outward, the other holding inward. Kandi's silence, her ringless appearance, her name change, these gestures feel heavy, intentional, symbolic. Todd's consistency, his ring, his unchanged tone, these choices feel protective, routine, perhaps even hopeful. It is like watching two versions of the same marriage unfold simultaneously. One version where someone is stepping back to breathe, another where someone is holding tighter, trying to keep the foundation still. And this difference, this emotional misalignment, is what unnerves the fans the most. Because when two people in a relationship respond to pressure in opposite ways, it can create a widening gap that neither side knows how to bridge. Relationships rarely crumble from one catastrophic moment. More often, they wear down quietly, over time. A comment here, a misunderstanding there, a reoccurring conflict that resurfaces every few months, a wound that heals just enough to function, but never fully closes. Between public criticism, business pressures, personal loss, parenting, and the ongoing strain with Mama Joyce, Kandi has been carrying emotional weight from several directions at once. And the signs of that exhaustion have begun to show. She doesn't look drained in the way someone appears after a long day.
She looks weary in the way a person looks when they've spent years being the mediator, the protector, the provider, the anchor. And no matter how strong someone is, there comes a time when even the strongest heart needs rest. Her recent behavior online feels controlled, careful, calculated, not in a manipulative sense, but in the way someone behaves when they are trying to protect themselves while still functioning under public scrutiny. It is the silence of someone who has spoken 1,000 times and is finally too tired to explain again.
Todd's approach has been the opposite. Instead of matching Kandi's subtle signals, he has continued projecting stability, smiling, posting, living publicly as if nothing has shifted. But sometimes acting normal is its own form of coping. Some people cling to routine when life feels uncertain. Some cling to symbols, like wedding rings, when they feel the foundation beneath them trembling. Todd may genuinely believe things will settle. He may be trying to protect their image. Or he may be holding on because letting go, even slightly, would mean acknowledging the cracks. Whatever his reasons, the contrast between their emotional expressions has become one of the most puzzling and heartbreaking elements of the story. However, the absence of the ring became a spark in Drybrush, small, innocuous, and easy to explain away, and yet within hours it evolved into a blaze of speculation across social media. Clips circulated, screenshots spread, and conversations erupted in comment sections everywhere. Fans noted that during her introduction, she was announced as Kandi Burruss, not Kandi Burruss Tucker, which further stoked speculation. The narrative quickly grew legs. Had something happened? Was there trouble behind the scenes? Were the subtle shifts in her presentation not random, but deliberate? In the world of celebrity culture, where meaning is often assigned to even the most insignificant gesture, these questions began circulating faster than the truth ever could. And as they did, a familiar cycle repeated itself, one where public curiosity merges with amateur detective work, creating a digital environment in which assumptions can feel as authoritative as facts. To understand why this missing ring became such a potent signal, one must return to the couple's own comments about previous rumors. Just a year earlier, Kandi and Todd had found themselves addressing similar speculation about their marriage after fans noticed that they were sometimes seen without their rings. Their explanation was simple. Kandi often didn't wear hers, not because of marital trouble, but because she simply didn't always put it on. Todd, by contrast, almost always wore his, making it an easy reference point for viewers who were eager to gauge the health of their relationship based on visible cues. During a conversation on their YouTube channel, the couple even laughed about how Riley, Kandi's daughter, had confronted them about online rumors that suggested a divorce was imminent. They explained that their spirited debates, particularly in their segment Todd and the Glam Squad, were part of their communication style, not signs of conflict. For them, discussions could be passionate, intense, and expressive, yet completely detached from any hostility. Still, fans analyzing their tone, their posture, and their facial expressions insisted on extracting deeper meaning from every interaction. What viewers saw as tension, Kandi and Todd regarded as conversation. Despite the couple's insistence that their marriage was strong, the ring discussions never fully disappeared. Perhaps it was the mismatch between Kandi's casual comfort without her ring and Todd's consistent use of his that created an uneven dynamic for the public to latch onto. Perhaps it was the fact that in the realm of televised relationships, audiences have been conditioned to treat rings, names, and social media posts as symbolic markers of emotional truth. And so when Kandi appeared ringless at such a high-profile moment, viewers didn't see it as a coincidence or a preference. They saw it as a sign. If the story had ended there, with a missing ring and a familiar wave of speculation in the endless cycle of celebrity commentary, it might have remained just another temporary flare-up of gossip. But what truly intensified things was the discovery that Kandi's Instagram bio no longer included Tucker. For years, her profile had read Kandi Burruss Tucker, signaling her married identity. But now, without announcement, it reverted to simply Kandi Burruss, and fans noticed. They compared archived screenshots, analyzed the timeline, and began crafting theories about what this shift might reveal. To add another layer, a scroll through her recent Instagram posts revealed another curious detail. Todd didn't appear in them. Not in the background, not in couples photos, not even as mentioned content. In the world of social media, absence can feel louder than presence, and this absence soon became fuel for a growing narrative. Yet, while Kandi's Instagram seemed devoid of marital signals, Todd's presence online suggested the opposite. Just days before the rumors reignited, Todd posted a video promoting their film project, Don't Bring Your Man to Atlanta, clearly wearing his wedding ring. He appeared relaxed, confident, and comfortably communicative. A man not only wearing his ring, but doing so in a way that seemed natural, unforced, and consistent. This contrast created a puzzle for viewers. If Todd still wore his ring and still vocalized their shared work, what did Kandi's ring absence and name change actually mean? Was it a shift in branding? Was it a coincidental alignment of unrelated actions? Or did it signal a temporary emotional distance that hadn't yet manifested publicly? Fans began generating competing theories, some benign, others dramatic, all rooted in the simple truth that they had more questions than answers. As speculation spread, some followers recalled past comments that hinted at continual tension within the Burruss-Tucker household. Tension not between the couple themselves, but between Todd and Kandi's mother, Mama Joyce. Their strained relationship has been a recurring theme on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, sparking confrontations, uncomfortable family dynamics, and emotional moments. Though the couple has attempted to create boundaries and maintain peace, friction has never fully subsided. In May, during an Amazon Live session, Kandi casually mentioned that Todd and her mother were not getting along again. She described how they seemed to have a pleasant interaction at their children's graduation ceremony, only for things to unravel shortly after. The way Kandi delivered this information, matter-of-factly, almost resigned, struck many viewers as surprising. The idea of her mother not feeling her or Todd on any given day created an impression of ongoing, underlying stress that could easily seep into the marriage. For some viewers, these revelations became a crucial piece of the puzzle. If external family conflict was intensifying again, perhaps Kandi's emotional bandwidth was being stretched thin, and perhaps that strain was reflected in her subtle decisions online. Kandi's calmness when discussing these tensions suggested years of navigating difficult family dynamics that had become normalized to her, but not necessarily to the public. In celebrity relationships, external pressures can be just as intense as internal ones. Mother-in-law tension, business responsibilities, public expectation, all of these factors can influence the emotional climate of a relationship, even when the surface appears calm. And so, as fans pieced together the clues, the ring, the Instagram name shift, the absence of Todd in recent posts, the revival of family strain, a narrative began forming that felt layered rather than sensational. The prevailing theory wasn't that a divorce was imminent, but that the couple might be weathering a temporary but significant rough patch, one that reflected the complexities of balancing love, fame, business, and family. The more one examines these dynamics, the clearer it becomes that the speculation surrounding Kandi and Todd speaks to something far larger than the couple themselves. It speaks to the culture of digital interpretation, where viewers have learned to read symbolism into every action of public figures. Social media has become a modern language, one in which silence is treated as intentional, absence as meaningful, and personal choices as coded messages for the audience to decode.
When someone removes a married name, fans assume marital trouble. When someone hides photos, speculation grows. When a ring is missing, theories bloom. This environment blurs the line between personal truth and public interpretation, making it nearly impossible for celebrities to control their narratives entirely. Yet, beyond the digital detective work lies a deeper human truth. Relationships, even strong ones, go through phases that are textured, complicated, and sometimes heavy. Rings come off for reasons unrelated to love. Instagram bios change for reasons unrelated to heartbreak. Couples ebb and flow in their closeness without it signaling collapse. And yet, for Kandi and Todd, whose lives have been lived under the glow of cameras and the commentary of millions, even a moment of emotional fatigue becomes magnified into cultural conversation. The public's fascination with their marriage doesn't stem from scandal, but from investment, the kind of investment that leads fans to study the details because they feel connected to the story. As we step back from the speculation and view this moment through a wider lens, a clearer picture emerges. It is entirely possible that Kandi and Todd are simply navigating a natural period of stress, one shaped by busy schedules, creative projects, family tension, and the unrelenting pace of their professional lives. It's possible that nothing significant has changed between them at all, and it's equally possible that they are working through challenges quietly, privately, and with the intention of emerging stronger. Whether this moment becomes a minor footnote in their long relationship or the early sign of a shift only they fully understand, only time will tell. So where does this leave Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker? Right now they appear to be standing at a crossroads that many long-term couples eventually face, one path leading toward reconciliation and honest confrontation, the other toward distance and emotional separation. Whether this situation ends in healing or heartbreak is something only they know. But the signs, however subtle, however quiet, suggest that something within their relationship is shifting. Their fans can feel it. Social media can sense it. And whether intentional or not, every move they make is being interpreted through the lens of a story still unfolding. The missing ring, the missing meme, the silence, the tension with Mama Joyce, the conflicting messages. None of these pieces individually confirm anything, but together they paint a picture of the couple navigating something deeper than the public realizes. And until Kandi or Todd speaks openly, the world will continue watching, waiting, and wondering what comes next.